Hello everyone and welcome back to the Book Brood, and today we're going to be bringing you the mid-year freakout tag for 2021.
Absolutely, and there are 13 questions, so we're gonna go kind of quickly. We will link the original video and all that information, all the questions down below. Okay, question number 1, what was the best book you read all year?
So far this year, for me, it's The Governess Game by Tessa Dare. I got into Tessa Dare this year. Oh my god, that woman is so funny. She is so funny. Oh, I died reading her books, and Governess Game was just on point.
And I said Mexican Gothic by Silvia Moreno Garcia, because this is a Mexican dark gothic story that had Catherine House vibes and Roanoke Girl vibes, and it was dreamy and creepy, and I loved it.
The second prompt is the best sequel you've read this year.
I have DNF'd all of the sequels I've attempted this year. I'm just not in a sequel mood. The only two that I finished were children's books, so Harry Potter #4 and Alana book 4 were the only two that I finished, and they were just kids' books that I've read before, so.
I said one that I just finished recently, and that's A 4th of July Proposal by Kim Finlay. This was a follow-up to Valentine's Proposal by the same author. And so we got to fall in love with our heroine in the first book, and so you're just already in love with her by this book, and the story in this one, the pairing is just wonderful. It is so good.
Question number 3 is, what is a new release that you haven't got to yet but you want to get to soon?
Okay, so I'm cheating by like a week and a half on this one, but Manhattan's Most Scandalous Reunion by Danny Collins is a follow-up to Married for One Reason Only that I just read. I am super pumped to get to that one.
And in doing my research for this, I just realized that my book has been out for a month and a half and I haven't read it yet. So that is Mr. Impossible by Maggie Stiefvater, which is the second in the Dreamers trilogy, which is a spin-off trilogy from the Raven Boys cycle. That came out in the middle of May, and nobody told me.
How dare they?
I know.
Number 4 is anticipated release.
I am very excited for Redemptor to come out by Jordan Efueko, which is the sequel to Raybearer, which I read earlier in the year. And that is coming out on August 17th. And I am very excited to see where the story goes.
Nice. So I have been doing a whole Harlequin category romance reading thing on BookTube and Twitter. But through that on Twitter, I saw that a brand new author, debut author, is going to be coming out with a book, a very intimate takeover. And this is by Laquette is her name. I hope I'm pronouncing that correctly. That's very exciting, that debut novel.
Question number 5. What has been your biggest disappointment so far this year?
To Heaven to Hoax by Martha Waters. It was very disappointing. I don't even want to explain it. It had a great premise on the synopsis, but it did not follow through. It was not what it promised to be. Yeah. Maybe it is for some people, but it wasn't for me. The couple took too long to resolve and stayed unresolved for far too trivial reasons. Yeah.
So I couldn't decide between 2 books. One I DNF'd, and so I'm going to go with the other one that I actually finished, and that was In a Dark, Dark Wood by Ruth Ware. I'm not a huge fan of suspense, so I knew I probably wouldn't like this going into it, but Lala at Books and Lala really likes this one, and I gave it a try, and I called the twist or whatever very early. It wasn't like suspenseful and stressful, and it was just disappointing.
She compared it to Best Day or like Greatest Day or Best Day Ever, right? Which was really good, right?
Best Day Ever was really good, but Dark Dark Wood.
Number 6 is, what was your biggest surprise so far this year?
Yeah, and I said No Man of Woman Born by Anna Mardal. I was not expecting to love this. I usually don't like fairy tale retellings. I usually don't like short story collections, but I laughed, I cried, I absolutely loved this one.
My biggest surprise was A Geek Girl's Guide to Murder by Julianne Lindsay. This was my first Julianne Lindsay book, and also my first cozy mystery that I ever read. Julianne Lindsay is so funny. She writes dialogue so perfectly with just these snap jokes that you're just like, oh, it's so witty, and you just want to be as sharp as Mia Connors is in this book. She's great.
Question number 7. What is your favorite new author that you discovered this year?
My favorite new author is Lila Mae Wright, and she is a new author to the point that she signed her book deal. So she's going to get her book published by Harlequin at some point, but she has been great about following my category journey and liking and retweeting and commenting. She is so sweet, and I am totally going to repay that by just getting her book first thing.
Brand new author. That's
Yes.
so exciting.
Mm-hmm.
Very nice. Well, I went with a new to me author. Well, kind of. Because I had read Room
Yes.
by Emma Donoghue. But this year, I read The Wonder and Akin by Emma Donoghue. Loved them both. And so I went ahead and picked up her newest, Full of Stars, and one of her older ones, Frog Music. And I haven't got to either of these yet, but I definitely want to.
You have been devouring her backlist.
I love her atmosphere. It's so nice.
Mm-hmm. New fictional crush? Do you have a fictional crush?
No, I don't fixate on characters like that anymore. I think I've become too old and jaded.
Ah, I see.
What about you?
I decided to write down Caroline Bingley for
Good
my
for you.
fictional crush. She is
It's your good deed of the year.
She is a woman of independent wealth and of good breeding, and why would not any man of high society
Of course.
not be interested?
Absolutely.
So there's my comedy for that.
I love it. Question number 9. What is your new favorite character this year?
My new favorite character is Yvette from A Heart of Blood and Ashes by MILLA VANE. She is a badass queen that learns to shoot a bow left-handed, like non-dominantly handed, because she was tortured by her father and he cut off her bow fingers on her right hand when she tried to kill him.
Dang.
Yeah, so she's pretty BA.
Nice.
Yeah.
Is that a YA?
No.
Okay.
No.
The title, Blood and Ashes, sounds like a YA.
It totally sounds like a YA, but it's actually like, it's RomanceTube really likes it, but honestly, I'd compare it more to Game of Thrones than romance. Like the world is so deep, like it's so saturated, and I mean, MILLA VANE puts so much thought into this world. It is just
That is awesome.
like, and it's cool too. It's just a really cool fantasy world.
Okay, well, I said my new favorite character, which is also kind of a cop-out because it's based off of Sherlock Holmes, but this is a female Sherlock Holmes, and that's Charlotte Holmes from A Study in Scarlet Women. And that's, I didn't write down the author. Sherry Thomas.
Sherry Thomas.
Yeah.
Yep.
So, yeah, absolutely love the gender swap, and she feels like her own character. She definitely has a lot of different interests than a traditional Sherlock, but she's still brilliant and doesn't really care if she, offends people, which is delightful.
Yeah, I picked that up because I was looking for another romance and was just, looking through the Plus catalog, Audible Plus catalog. I was not disappointed when there's hardly any romance in that first one, and it barely ticks up, as the books goes on. I haven't read the fourth one, but yeah, those are great. Number 10, a book that made you cry.
And I feel like I already answered this one, but No Man of Woman Born by Anna Mardal made me cry, but it was happy cry. So.
Yeah, I said Persuasion by Jane Austen because, yeah, Anne and Captain Wentworth, like the amount those two pine for each other when they're like they're like right there, and it's just like, oh my God, you two, like seriously, just, and that letter at the end, his letter at the end, right?
Oh my gosh, I know, right?
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I have not read that. A book that made you happy
Oh, this one was kind of a cop-out, but I wanted to mention it. It's Croc's Return by Eve Langlis.
We have it. I should have read it.
It was, we had a great time buddy
We did.
reading that one. So that was definitely a happy time around that book.
Not necessarily tied to the book.
Right.
Yeah. That's funny because I almost picked A Fall Love Story,
Oh, yeah?
which is the other one we budgeted.
Uh-huh, that's right.
But I ended up going with A Secret History by Donna Tartt, which Goodreads tells me that I have now completed it 4 times, which seems low, but it made me very happy that this time around I started to see the story from like a different perspective. And I'm not sure if it's because I'm slightly older now that I'm seeing these characters through like
Through the faculty?
like kind of like the rose tinted glasses are off and I'm like just seeing them from the very beginning as these flawed, pretentious characters. Like I'm not wooed in by their like we are so awesome, come join our club, you know, type.
I see.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like I go right in and at the very beginning I was like, wow, there's some sketch stuff going on here. And which I don't know, it was a different angle and that made me really happy. Like there's another layer to that story that I was able to unearth. I love that story so much.
Awesome. That's great. No, it is. I mean, to discover new things on rereads. It's awesome. The most beautiful book you've bought this year.
Yes.
Yeah.
Mine just came. Okay, I pre-ordered this 6 months ago, and then we moved, and then there was trouble with shipping, but it finally came. I'm so excited. It's a picture book, and it's beautiful. It's Kuan Yin, The Princess Who Became the Goddess of Compassion by Maya Vandermeer. But look at this. Oh, look.
wow.
It's so pretty.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's like fully... like the whole cover. I don't even know if you can see it. But it is gorgeous. And like the end pages and all of the illustrations are so lush. It's absolutely gorgeous. And that is the most beautiful book I've bought this year.
Awesome. I do not buy beautiful books. I buy functional books. Probably the most beautiful book I have, honestly, is probably Anchored Hearts, which I didn't buy that one.
Neither did I.
This one won it for me
on a
Goodreads. I haven't read it yet, but yeah, don't worry, Priscilla. I definitely will get around to that.
Awesome. Okay, last question. What do you need to read before the end of the year?
Okay, so I have 3 books that were given to me by the authors, so I need to read those definitely because they were just provided to me. It was very nice of authors to send free books to such a rinky-dink channel as ours. So The Bad Boy of Butterfly Harbor and Building a Surprise Family, both by Anna J. Stewart in the Butterfly Harbor series.
Ooh.
So those are books 1 and 10 in the series. So I'm reading book 9 right now for my category journey. And then I'll try and get to the backlist. And then Out of the Ashes by Kim Finlay, which is a love-inspired romance. So those are the religious ones.
Ooh.
But what I hear is it's really more just like focused around people that go to church on Sunday, and that's usually about as deep as it goes.
Oh, so it's not like Amish or anything?
No.
Okay.
It's just it's just
just religious people.
Okay. Right.
Okay. Okay, cool.
So we'll see.
Okay, this is putting me on the spot, in the spotlight of shame. I have got to catch up with the Scala along. I am so far behind. So I have books 2, 3, and 4 right now, and I'm pretty sure they're on book 5 now, and I really need to catch up because this is a series I've been meaning to get to for years, and Chris Bookish Cauldron, I always stumble on that, Chris Bookish Cauldron is running the readathon, and I'm getting back into it. All
right, awesome. So that is our mid-year freak out tag.
Yay!
Go ahead and link us your mid-year freakout tag down below, or let us know about any of the books that we talked about today. Hit that like button if you like the video. Hit the subscribe button if you like us. And we will see you in the next video.
Bye, guys.